Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. So a bit of an update. It's been a good sort of 4 or 5 weeks since the last video. I think the last one was taking the 206 for its last flight, and yes, it is still sitting here. Has obviously sold, and the new owner I think struggling a little bit for hangar space, so each week's was sort of pushing back, but I've got the space here at the moment, so it's still sitting. But essentially, yeah, a bit of an update. We have purchased an aircraft, so I want to thank everyone for their input. I had lots of people call and message and giving me lots of different options and opinions, and basically, yeah, take it all on board, because everyone's sort of got their own look on it, or different angles to come from. But I know a lot of my mates have been fairly pissed off with me, taking forever to try and even make a decision, and I just keep going round and round in circles. But essentially, yes, I have purchased an aircraft, and for some people who go, oh yeah, it's quite cool, other people might go, you should have bought a Cessna 180, so there's a bit of a clue. I didn't buy a Cessna 180. It was high up on the list of things to buy, but I don't know, the more I went round and round, the more I still feel like I need 2 aircraft. I was trying to go back to that 1 aircraft, but I really love the bush flying, and I do have a soft spot for a Super Cub. I really want to get one. I haven't purchased one yet. I do have my eyes on one, but at this stage haven't been able to pull that off. So I've sort of replaced basically the 206 with the family flying machine. Certainly I was looking at originally, but we'll turn around here and get the camera on it, and then we'll have a bit of a run through on reasons why I went that direction. So yes, so I have purchased 2022 Sling TSI, and a lot of people go straight away like, you didn't want low wing, and I didn't. I certainly didn't want a low wing aircraft, purely down to the fact that I sort of haven't really flown many low wing aircraft at all. Didn't do any flight training. Hello, King. In them at all, so they're pretty foreign to me. So probably about, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks ago, this Sling popped up on Trade Me, and Alex, the Sling agent up in Fielding, he had it for sale, and I convinced him, thankfully, to take a flight down with his son to Cromwell, and he shot down on the weekend, on a weekend, and got to take it for a bit of a test flight. Got my wife to go for a flight in it as well. I sat in the back, and we went for a bit of a cruise around just in the local area. But after that flight, I actually was like, nah, this is definitely not for me. I was feeling a bit overwhelmed. Obviously all the avionics, all the G3Xs and the screens and the autopilots and all the bling, and the low wing and different perspective, and so touchy too. Like, I'm used to a Cessna controls or a little Cub where you can move, you've got to move a fair bit, with the yoke on a Cessna before it actually does anything, whereas the Sling, it's so, every little twitch it does something and moves around. So took a bit to get used to, and I think after that test flight I was a bit like, nah, this is probably not for me. I really like the Slings, and I still wanted a high wing Sling. So I said thank you very much, and turned down the offer to purchase it, and then went through the process again, as I have been, round and round in circles, and did the numbers on getting a kit out of South Africa, and doing either the build myself or enlisting Callum at Wanaka or something like that, or I don't know, just looking at the options, and basically I just kept getting past where I could afford to get to. So in the end I sort of did as you do, more YouTube watching on videos and stuff, and thought, bugger it, let's throw an offer at Alex, and if he takes it, he takes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't, and then at least I can move on and work out something else. And basically Alex took the offer. Really appreciate that. And then it was deciding to try and pick it up, and it was all a bit of a rush. I threw the offer in on a Sunday. Monday I was on a plane to Palmy North. Tuesday, bit of flying training, and then the rating in the afternoon, and then essentially Wednesday weather turned crap, and then Thursday flew it home to Cromwell. So in that time flying home, I think I've grown to love it. Still feeling, when I was doing my rating, I was still feeling just a bit awkward, just different, because I've been so used to a high wing, but just that time flying home, just get used to it, and now it's sort of you don't actually think much of it. It's just one of those things, the wings are just underneath rather than on top, but it was probably more in my head than anything. So that's where we've come around, and purely several reasons. Cheap flying. The Rotax cruises along nicely. It's a 915 IS, and she cruises along at in economy cruise at around that sort of 127, 130 knots, burning about 28 litres of fuel per hour, and that's 95 octane fuel. So $2.50 a litre versus avgas, which is getting up there close to $4. So fairly cheap to run. Obviously servicing's cheaper, and things like that. It is a 4-seat aircraft. I won't go through a bit of a review on the Slings. There's so many out there that are good and way better than I can do, but essentially I can take 4 people, 4 adults. Baggage space in this one's a little bit restricted, just because we've got a parachute. It's got the ballistic parachute in there, so baggage is a little bit smaller, but still enough for what we need it to do. It's comfortable. And one of the bigger plus too, autopilot. Man, this is the first time I've ever had an autopilot system, and it's amazing that trip home, where you can just leisurely, get your heading set, level set, sit back, keep monitoring everything, keep ahead of the plane, and things like that. It was really just took the load off, and essentially, I flew from Fielding down to Cromwell, and I literally could have turned around and flown back again. It was that that easy. Whereas you fly to Cessna, and it just takes a bit more effort and you're just a bit more. Not exhausted, but just you've been working hard when you're hand flying it, and going through your procedures and your checks and your your radio calls and working out all the frequency, especially on the North Island where I don't know the area too, where you just making sure you're not going into areas you shouldn't be. So it just makes it a little bit easier, a bit more comfortable. So that's pretty much why the reason behind going that way. Like I said, with 180, I think they're a cool machine, and do everything. But I just the big cross country stuff, you are burning a fair bit of fuel, and with the bush flying, I feel like I'm just sacrificing a little bit. Whereas I want to get it back into a tandem seating cub, and so hopefully we can still pull that off. I'm just working through some options, but got my eye on one, and hopefully that may happen later in the year. But we'll see how we go. Alrighty, so a little bit of quick tour. Obviously the Sling TSI with its low wings, wings on the wrong side of the plane, bottom side instead of the top side, but getting used to that. Obviously got the little wing tips, full LED lights all around, and good part about these is obviously we can run avgas or MOGAS. So predominantly I'll try and run 95 octane car gas as much as possible. Another benefit is being able to stand and obviously do your fuel without having to climb up onto a ladder, which is a bit of a difference for me. So the Sling TSI, this one's running the 915 IS. I think the new ones now are running the 916, so a little bit more power with the newer ones, but still plenty for me. Paint job, awesome paint job. Obviously I love orange, orange watches, orange shoelaces, all those sort of things. I do love orange, and from the Savage Cup as well. You'll know that the colour, so that matched really well. And this one's been obviously named by the previous owners, Alex and Brad, and they named it Nemo, so pretty fitting with the colour scheme, so happy to carry that on, definitely. Got the Airmaster adjustable pitch prop, electric prop there, Airmaster, the Kiwi brand, which is quite cool. And obviously wheel pants, tricycle gear. Originally when I was looking at the Slings, I was looking at the high wing tail wheel version, but man, the insurance goes up when you start throwing the tail wheel at it, and the value of them. Obviously low wing, fuel, 200 litres, so 100 in each wing, and at burning 27 an hour, you've got a long range, essentially go from the North Island and back again. Quite a long wing. So that's about to the outside. Obviously, I said there's plenty of good reviews online. This is not a review. This is purely just showing you Nemo. I'll jump inside. Okay, so the interior, essentially fairly spacey. About sort of the width of I haven't actually measured it, but they tell me about around a 182 Cessna. Quite reclining seats. You see they're not quite as upright as a Cessna, but it actually is really comfortable. And I used to sit fairly close in a Cessna because obviously the toe brakes and you want to be nice and close to that, but this essentially has a handbrake next to the throttle there. King, no. And Yes, and essentially it has a handbrake next to the throttle there, so you don't actually need to be sitting super close, and the rudder is quite sensitive, so you don't really sit too close. In the back, obviously twin seats in the back there, and it's a folding rear seat, so they can fold forward for a bit more storage. And I don't know if you can see the silver part there, that's the ballistic parachute in the back there. So avionics, and you can see probably from the, hopefully you can see it there. Yeah, so essentially we've got the Garmin G3Xs, so they're a 10-inch G3X on either side. Then you have the Garmin GTN 650XI, the Garmin GNC 255A, and then the Garmin GFC 500 Autopilot, and one G5 backup, and then we've got the GTX 45 ADS-B in and out. And it's got basically Earth-X lithium battery, dual internal batteries for the Garmin stuff. So it's fairly well kitted out. You'll see the red parachute pull handle there as well. So for me, going from your sort of mainly analog gauges to these took a little bit to get used to, but pretty much know where everything is now. And obviously the startup procedure is a little bit different than everything else, but been working through that, which is quite cool. And what else is there? Obviously got full place headsets, the obviously stick controls. On the controls is quite cool. You do have obviously your flap up and down, trim up and down, and autopilot disengage, and then your radio button on the front there. Heat and fan, the air vent's really good, comes directly off the side and straight in, so that's quite cool as well. And that's up the top there is your electric prop. You'll see at the top there, which basically you're using 3 settings: time, climb, takeoff, or cruise on that one as well. So that's pretty much the inside. Alright, so that was just a quick tour of Nemo, Sierra Lima November. A little bit of a tongue twister, but we'll get used to that. And just want to say again, thanks to Brad and Alex in Fielded. Made the deal so much easier, and obviously got the flight there. They organised the rating, gave me a loan car, and everything like that. So it was really cool, smooth, seamless, and hopefully get some more built. Obviously Alex the agent up there, so hopefully he cracks in. I think there's a few more kits coming apparently. It'd be good to see more slings coming along, and hopefully get used to these low ones. Pretty original now, but a little bit different, and sometimes change is a good thing too. So anyhow, we'll hopefully get up into the air and do a few videos flying the sling. So see you on the next one. Cheers.